illegal drugs into the country, and also trying to stop the flow of illegal weapons headed towards South America.
Some of these weapons are destined for drug lords, others for assorted political factions. But whatever the destination, most of these guns have been unlawfully obtained. In Central Florida, over 1,500 guns were stolen in 1987 alone.
In that year, the remote Florida farmland surrounding Mayaca City, 60 miles south of Tampa, was home to a young farmer named Todd McAfee.
Todd believed that the only way to succeed was through the hard work, and you had to love what you're doing. The respect that he gained from the people that he worked with was because he had the knowledge, he had the determination, and he wanted to do the job, and that's the way he based his life.
Todd lived on the isolated farm he managed in a small trailer by the highway. He was an avid gun collector and would often target shoot behind his home. For this reason, it was widely known in the area that Todd kept his valuable collection in his trailer. 6:30 a.m., August 18th, 1987. Several migrant workers are waiting outside the locked gate of Todd's farm. Todd's assistant, Adam Williams, arrived and opened up for the day.
I was to be at the farm between 6:30 and 7. Normally, by that time, Todd had already opened the gate. When I went to the gate, I looked at the trailer. The only thing that was kind of odd, his truck was parked beside his car instead of behind his car. Usually he parked it behind his car.
By 7 a.m., there was still no sign of Todd. Adam went over to check out his trailer.
Hey, Todd! The first thing I saw was the gun cases, 2 handgun cases laying on the floor, empty. And then I noticed a buzzing sound. And I saw the phone recorder. And I noticed that it didn't have a tape in it, and the spindles were just spinning crazy. And I turned it off. And I thought that was kind of weird that that tape was gone.
Hey, Adam, look at this.
2 hours later, another farm employee found a bag of groceries in the front seat of Todd's truck. They appeared to have been left overnight. He also found a newly rented videotape. The keys were still in the truck's ignition, and lying in the bed of the pickup, they made another discovery.
Todd's glasses. It's got blood all over it. No, I can't use blood. No, that's blood. ¿Qué pasó? ¿La troca está caliente? Sí, le falta agua.
At the same time, 2 miles away, a group of Todd's farm workers were looking for some water for their overheated truck. Instead, at the bottom of a drainage ditch, they found the body of Todd McAfee. Police found that Todd had been shot 4 times by .22 caliber hollow point bullets.
Looks like they may have set him down right in here. I located some blood spattering in the sand. We also found a large saturation point indicating to us that perhaps 2 persons carried Todd, placed him down in the sand, and then re-picked him up and took him into the drainage ditch.
Many locals knew this ditch as the home of a 15-foot-long alligator, and some speculated that the killers had hoped this alligator would have eaten their victim.
Say your name? Felipe Valderas.
Footprints were also discovered at the site. All of the farm workers were interrogated and their shoes videotaped.
Okay.
No matches could be made. At Todd's home, more telling clues were discovered.
The trailer was in a ransacked condition. Certain items were missing, including a large collection of guns, both handguns, rifles, and shotguns. A VCR was missing, along with a couple of cameras. We noticed in the sugar sand in the driveway tire prints which indicated that a vehicle entered the driveway of Todd McAfee's residence at a very high rate of speed. We found a large quantity of blood in the bed of Todd's truck.
We had the holster found on a dashboard with no weapon.
On the dash of Todd's truck, police also found an empty gun case. A receipt left in the grocery bag enabled police to pinpoint the time of his death between 6:30 and 7 p.m. As the investigation proceeded, two friends of Todd's came forward. At approximately 6:15 p.m., as they drove past Todd's home, they saw an orange van parked out front. They assumed that Todd had company. This orange van had been seen earlier at a local gas station.
Your kids?
A customer struck up a conversation with one of the van's occupants.
So we move around a lot. Where are you here?
The van's driver then came out of the station's market.
What are you trying to do? Get us in trouble? Huh?
No, bro! No!
He struck the woman and forced her inside the vehicle.
Right! Get in the van!
Another man emerged and entered the van from the passenger side. They then left the scene.
So here you are at the gas station and you're pumping gas.
Fearing reprisal, the witness declined to be identified. Under hypnosis, she was able to provide details about the van's occupants. The woman appeared to be under the influence of drugs and was wearing a gold necklace with the initials RB. A small diamond was in the leg of the R. Through the door of the van, an automatic weapon was visible. The man the woman had addressed as Rob had a large tattoo of an eagle on his left arm. He called his companion Runt. Based on the physical evidence, police have been able to reconstruct Todd's last moments. They theorize that between 6:30 and 7 p.m., Todd, heading home after stopping at a convenience store, spotted the orange van in front of his trailer. As his gun collection had been stolen the year before, he suspected trouble. The tire tracks suggested he drove quickly into his driveway. As he stopped, Todd drew the gun he kept in his truck, but as he opened his door, Todd was shot.
We believe that the principal motive at this time was firearms. All the firearms were taken except for a .22 semi-automatic weapon, which we believe Todd used mostly for varmint shooting. It was not of the high-quality type guns that he had in his residence. We have not had a single gun recovered, which would indicate one of two things is occurring. Either someone is hoarding a large quantity of guns, or the guns are going out of the country. It's a case that eats at you, because when a very innocent party like Todd McAfee's life is taken away from him at such an early age, you want to catch these people so that they get their just reward.
The woman seen by the witness at the gas station was about 5 feet 5 inches in height, thin, with blonde hair. She appeared to be in her mid-20s. The man called Rob was of medium height and had a tattoo of an eagle on his left arm.
There are no existing composites of the man called Runt, but he was 6 feet in height and had a mustache. At the moment, the investigation's at a standstill, and police badly need to identify these suspects. Police would also like to know why the message tape on the answering machine was taken. Had the thieves been in contact with Todd before the shooting? If anyone watching can help identify the occupants of the orange van, or have any other information on this case, please call the Florida State Police or call our toll-free number, 1-800-876-5353.